From Orange County and the campus of Chapman University, this is the Chapman Business Report.
For as long as I've been in the TV news business, for a long time, about 25 years, so I started when I was 2, the most popular question I always get asked is, how do you find your stories? Pete Weitzner, joined by one of my TV students, Jenna Vacarro. So my question to you before we watch Jenna's story is, how did you find this story on Good Karma Bikes?
I actually am the neighbor of Jim Gardner, who is the CEO and
helps.
founder of Good Karma Bikes. So I've grown up all around him and his wife, and they're wonderful people. And my mom actually just said, why don't you go ask Jim? Why don't you just email Jim and ask him if you can go and film at his shop? And he was so welcoming, and everyone there was so wonderful. He told me everyone signs a release, so you can film whatever you want and do whatever you like.
Terrific. Don't need releases in news, by the way, but soon you'll run out of neighbors. However, Jim is a neighbor, and he helped provide Jenna with a great story. Take a look.
It's 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, that special day of the week where Good Karma Bikes opens its doors to those in need of anything from a tune-up to a new tire. What's the kicker? They do all the work for free, no matter the cost.
Good Karma, located in San Jose, California, was founded by Jim Gardner in 2009 after he witnessed a man at a homeless shelter struggle with a rickety bike.
If you want to do more than survive, you need transportation.
I can barely walk now, so without a bicycle, I'm dead in the water. I can't do anything.
Bikes of all sizes and conditions are donated and rehabilitated for sale. But for those who can't afford to buy a bike, Good Karma will give you one for free and show you how to fix it up. Gardner notes the nonprofit is far more than just a full-service bike shop. It is also a social enterprise.
We reinvest our revenue into employing people in work readiness who are in recovery and emancipated foster youth.
I started working for Good Karma Bikes to volunteer. I was unemployed, and I thought it'd be a good way to use my time constructively.
Saturdays are the busiest, when dozens of clients line up hours before the shop opens to wait for repairs. Steve, a local disabled homeless man, is here to have repairs done on the bike he received cost-free from Good Karma 2 years ago.
I mean, they do everything for me. And yeah, amazing. And they do it all for free. And they do it with a smile. That's incredible. I mean, I'm incredibly grateful for them.
We have served 13,000 clients in our 5.5 years. This year, we will actually serve our 10,000th customer.
But man, I'll tell you what, Good Karma's been excellent for me.
Reporting from San Jose and feeling the good karma, I'm Jenna Vacarro for Chapman Business Report.
I'm back with Jenna Vacarro. Terrific story. By the way, Jenna's first solo story of your TV career, so even
Very
more
true.
impressive. So let's talk first about, this is a business, I mean, it's nonprofit, but it's also a business. Not everybody gets repairs or a bike for free,
Exactly.
right?
It is also a full-functioning secondhand bike shop. It's a full retail shop as well for secondhand bikes that they refurbish, and that revenue goes towards them being able to give away bikes and fix up bikes for free for the homeless.
I'm sure there's a sense then that there's a lot of places you can get bikes that people like to get their bikes there because they know that a lot of the revenues are being then funneled to folks who need it.
Exactly, and they've also got a lot of great variety of corporate sponsors, global companies as well as local companies that help out, and they don't really have to rely on the government all that much because of this revenue that they bring in from donations and that they bring in from just the bikes that they get in donations themselves.
Sure, and there's other prongs to this. So he's got a lot of mechanics that work for him. These are not, they have backstories that are not the same as you'd find at mechanics at regular retail bike shops, right?
Exactly. Some are just coming out of prison. Some
Tough
are
to get a job.
Exactly.
If you're a felon.
You need references, and some of them are in recovery from drug and alcohol addictions. Some are just homeless due to circumstance, and they just need some help. They need someone to help get them up on their feet, and they need transportation. So it's a win-win.
I'm sure that he has graduated, the owner, a lot of people into the private sector then, from from the years of experience they get with him.
Exactly, yeah. He trains some mechanics, and they can get a certificate saying that they are a professional, bike mechanic of that kind. He gives some of them small stipends as well, but a lot of them are just volunteers. Good Karma runs on volunteers.
Back to him, Jim, the
Jim Gardner,
owner.
Yes.
So he has devoted his life to serving others, to use just a general term. He worked regular private sector guy, entrepreneur, or worked for a company, and was there an epiphany somewhere? Did you find that out?
It's kind of a little bit of both his circumstance and an epiphany. I believe he said he was turning 40, and he was just thinking about what he had done for the world. Was he doing good so far? And he, at the same time, had gotten laid off from one of his earlier jobs in the tech industry in Silicon Valley. And he said he was bringing his clothes, I think I put this in the package, he was bringing his clothes to a homeless shelter and saw a man that was struggling on a rickety bike, and he got this idea to go and help people at these homeless shelters with these old bikes that need repairs, and they don't know how to do it, or they don't have the tools to do it. So he would go by himself, bring his van and just go help these people out. And one of the things that's helped this business grow so much is their location now, right in the Midtown district. And that has allowed them to, get so many new customers, and they have a huge shop for the bikes. It's a wonderful place.
Well, and that story is one you can hear anywhere. You can hear in a church, you can hear is that if you have a crisis in your life, it's hard to think about it this way. First, do something for someone else,
Exactly.
and it turned his life around. Finally, Steve in your story.
Steve.
What's his backstory here?
So I met Steve just while I was filming outside, and he is one of the most genuinely kind guys I've met there, just in general. He was so grateful for Good Karma. He had an ulcerated disc, so that basically put him in a wheelchair for some time after he was released from the hospital a few years back. The doctors told him, "You really can't walk." So he kind of hobbles around, he doesn't really have a cane, but right after he got out of the hospital, he said, "I'm not going to live my life in a wheelchair." And so he heard in the San Jose Mercury News that they were giving out these free bikes, and he went and he got himself one, and I think he's had it for about 2 years now and goes semi-regularly to have it worked on, and he was the last in line that morning, so he kind of had to wait the longest, but...
The company is Good Karma Bikes. The future TV and documentary filmmaker is Jenna Vacarro. I'm Pete Weitzner, Chapman Business Report.